Good morning. This is JW. I just want to take a little time and talk to you, the family, the community. And I have a lot of things on my mind. There's a lot of things in the news. And I want to talk to my people. So give me a few minutes, bear with me so we can chat together. You know, there was a time when Martin Luther King was advocating for our rights in the civil rights movement and those that were with him. And someone said to him, now is not the time for this kind of change. And he said to them, what do you mean? And they said, can you wait? He says, no, we can't wait. And I'd like to take that theme and give it back to our people. You see, we seem to be waiting for America and the government to somehow give us justice, somehow provide to us that which we know we are really able to achieve and should be achieving. The problem is that we need to take that authority on our own. We need to join as in unity and do this on our own. There's a thing called leverage in business. And what I want to let you know about leverage is taking your power, your group, your collective power, and you leverage it to achieve what you want to achieve. And that's done every day in business, but we as a people are failing to leverage our economic power, our voting power, our collective power to achieve what we want to achieve. We seem to be waiting for someone to say, hey, here it is, it's time, you can have it now. We've been bad people and we're gonna right that wrong. Let me explain something to you. No one's going to relinquish power to us. No one's going to relinquish assets to us. No one's giving up anything for us. That which we want, we must take. That which we want, we must buy. That which we want, we must own. Because when you own something, you control it. So what I'm saying to us, we've got to take a different perspective. Marching is fine. Protesting is fine. But the bottom line of it is we need to take an action. And we need to take a collective action. I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong because they're good. If something is going wrong, we need to let everyone know that we don't approve of this. But at the same time, we have to take an action to change it. And when we leverage our power, leverage our economic power, we leverage our collective power, people will listen. You know, I wrote a book, and this book is Your Vote Matters, The Easy Way to Use Your Power. While I teach a lot about economic wealth and real estate, creating wealth through real estate, and all those things are things that you can achieve as an entrepreneur, whether it's real estate or anything else. But the bottom line of it is that it's a twofold effort. If I can go back to the civil rights movement, yes, Martin Luther King and others marched. Yes, they protested. But guess what? There were attorneys like Thurgood Marshall and other people actually seeking to legislate law to effect the change we were marching about. What that tells me is that we have to take an action. You see, there are always going to be those that oppose us. And there will always be those that feel as though, that was back then and this is now. And guess what? It was back then. So let's do the dance right now. Let's take our position in the world. Let's take our position in America. Basically, we have the power to achieve what we want to achieve collectively for all of us. We have trillions of dollars in economic power and we don't consolidate it. You see, you have to learn how to discriminate how you use your power. Yes, I said discriminate, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but there's one store here and there's a black store here. You have to look at that and say, do I want to support my brother? Do I want to support my sister? Because when I support my brother and sister, then I'm supporting my community. You see, there was a place called Black Wall Street once, and the economic power that that community had was because their dollars stayed in their community time after time after time. It went around 5, 10, 15, 20 times before it left the community. Soon as we get a dollar, it leaves the community. And then we want to achieve certain things. So we have to take note, and we have to learn how to exercise and leverage our power. There's another thing I want to tell you about voting. You know, when Barack Obama was elected, I was staying in Harlem, New York, and I said, I'm an early bird, so I said, I'm going to get up early and be one of the first people out there. So I went out, got there, and there were 3 people before me. That was 6 o'clock in the morning. We leveraged our voting power in order to elect the first black president. But let me tell you where we failed. And you have to be just as aware of how to create wealth as you are of your civic duties. We went and elected a black president. Let me give you an example. If you were building a basketball team and you felt that Michael Jordan was the best player or one of the best players ever, and you got to pick Michael Jordan. Now remember, you got the best player in Michael Jordan, but he didn't win championships by himself. He had Scottie Pippen, he had Horace Grant, he had John Paxson, Steve Kerr, and others. It was a team effort. Well, this is what we did, and we can't make that mistake again, because so many people in our community have told me that voting doesn't matter. It never changes. They. It's not them, it's us. It's what we must do. So when we elected Barack Obama, 2010 came, and the Congress that he had, which was his team, that helped achieve a health care bill, was not voted back in because we didn't show up. We didn't show up to give Barack Obama his team. We have to, as well as learn how to create wealth, let me tell you, you better learn how to keep it, because laws can change to help you lose whatever you achieve. So he said he's not recommending that any other president gets shellacked like he did. Well, let me give you some news. Barack Obama didn't get shellacked. We did, because we didn't show up. Now, Michael Jordan has 6 rings. Why? Because a team was selected to be together. They were a team, a collective, and they worked together to get those 6 rings. What we did was we put Barack Obama into office and walked away and said, go to work, guy. Get it done, guy. We're not going to give you a team, but I'm sure you'll find a way. We just disappeared. And that's our problem. We have to be economically aware, civically aware, because let me tell you something, laws can change. There were laws that said we couldn't use a restroom. We had a black-only restroom. There are laws that said we could only drink from a fountain. We had to sit in the back of the bus. The bottom line of it is laws can change. Those were the laws. And based on efforts of our people, our community of the past, those laws were changed. But don't fool yourself. Laws can change to simulate what they used to be or back to what they used to be, because it's only a law. And once it's law, then there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to be civically aware as well. Let me explain something to you. I want you to do a formula. There were 131 million people who voted in the election for Barack Obama. There was $5.3 billion spent in that election in order to persuade people to vote whatever way they wanted. Personal assets of wealthy people, non-wealthy people were put into the arena to influence our vote. So you say your vote doesn't matter. You say your vote's not worth something. So let me give you an economic equation that you need to use. Because if you divide 131 million into 5.3 billion, it comes out to $40,000 a person. That means that private money invested $40,000 in each one of us just to influence our vote. That's how much your vote is worth. No, you're not going to get the $40,000, but that's how much many of our opposers are willing to spend to influence our vote. So I'm here to tell you voting matters. You got to get civically involved, civically aware, and you've got to be aware of your wealth. You've got to be aware of your community, and we've got to come together and change things for ourselves. That's about all I'm going to say today. There'll be another video on this subject, so stay tuned and have a great day.